Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's start the class. So, last class we have seen al-fi'l al-thulathi al-mujarrad has 6 abwab, and then we learned that fi'l can be classified into 2 irrespective of harf al-illa. So we have al-fi'l al-sahih, al-fi'l al-mu'tal. And al-mu'tal has 6 varieties. What are they? Misal, ajwaf, naqis, lafif. Lafif maqroon, lafif mafruq. And then al-fi'l al-sahih has 3 categories. Al-fi'l al-salim, al-fi'l al-mahmuz, al-fi'l al-mudha'af. So these things we have seen. Let's continue from there. Aqsam al-af'al. Varieties of fi'l. First variety what we have seen is fi'l can be classified into 3. Al-Madi, Al-Mudari', Al-Amr. Then we have seen Al-Fi'l can be classified into 2. Al-Sahih, Al-Mu'tal. And we have seen also fi'l can be classified into what? What else we have seen? Al-Nawaqis, Al-Jawazim, everything will come under Al-Mudari'. Okay? Apart from this, we have fi'l can be classified into Al-Muta'addi, Al-Lazim. Again, Al-Fi'l can be classified into Al-Jamid, Al-Mushtaq. This is Jamid. Al-Mushtaq. Al-Fi'l can be classified into Thulathi, Al-Ruba'i. See, these are classification of fi'ls. How many classification we have? Let's not get confused. See, always when you classify fi'l, you should ask question depending on what? This classification is depend on what? And this one, all these things, depending on what? This is a basic question you have to ask. Like you have this duster, for example. If I ask you to describe this duster, some of you see this side. He will say this is like this. Some of you will see from this side. Some of you will see from like this side. Some of you will be back side. So that duster is duster. Depending on what you see, you classify. Same goes here. Al-Fi'l here we have classified into 3 depending on time. Here, fi'l can be classified into 2, Sahih and Mu'tal, depending on huruf al-illa. If it is having huruf al-illa, then that is al-Mu'tal. If it's not, then it's Sahih. Al-fi'l al-muta'addi, depending on what? Depending on maf'ulun bihi. If fi'l has maf'ulun bihi, then that is called al-muta'addi. If it does not take any maf'ulun bihi, then that is al-lazim. This classification, al-fi'l al-thulathi or rubai, depending on what? Depending of number of letters in a given verb. If it is having 3, that is thulathi. If it is having 4, that is rubai. This kind of classification depends on what? Al-jami' al-mushtaq. You have some verbs, some fi'l, which you can't conjugate. Sometimes it will take only madi. You can't conjugate mudari. Sometimes it will take only mudari. You can't conjugate madi. Sometimes it will take fi'l amr. You can't conjugate madi mudari. So this is a kind of irregular fi'l. The best example for this is laysa. Laysa. Laysa, laysa, laysu, laysat, laysata, laysata. Lasna, lasta, lastuma, ila, lastu, lasna. What's the madi for that? We don't have madi. So al-jamid meaning constant. You have only one face, that's it. Al-mushtaq is no, it's a proper verb where you can conjugate madi, mudari, fi'l amr, everything. So these classifications, you should not get confused. Everything is depending on something. Classification is depending on something. You have to keep this in your mind. Okay, another classification. This is what al-fi'l al-ma'lum, al-fi'l al-majhul. This is also a classification. So you write it down. Now let's start with this. We need this. Here, akala Bilalun al-khubza, ذهب Khalidun ila al-madrasati. Here what you see, this is fi'l, this is fa'il. This fa'il has done this fi'l on this maf'ulun bihi. Al-khubza, what we say in English, object. In Arabic we say maf'ulun bihi. Maf'ulun bihi. Bilal ate the bread. So the action of eating done on the bread. So this action done by somebody and done on something. So when the action is being done on something, that thing is maf'ulun bihi. And that action is done by somebody and that doer is fa'il. So here Bilal is a person who is eating. And the thing which is being eaten is al-khubza. So this is called maf'ulun bihi. This is called maf'ulun bihi. In Arabic language, we have some fi'l which can have maf'ulun bihi like this. And some fi'ls, they don't take maf'ulun bihi, like what you have here. ذهب خالد إلى المدرسة. ذهب meaning went. Khalid went. The action of went happened on what? You can't say that. You can't say that. So here ذهب is having no maf'ulun bihi. So the verb which is having maf'ulun bihi is called muta'addi. Al-muta'addi. The verb which has no maf'ulun bihi is called lazim. Fi'l muta'addi, fi'l lazim. Some fi'ls can take 2 maf'ulun bihi. Some fi'ls can take 3 maf'ulun bihi. It's also there. Okay? And in some cases, you can make this fi'lul lazim as fi'l muta'addi. For that, you have to do some procedure that we will learn later, inshallah. Okay? Right now, verb can be classified into 2. One is muta'addi, another is al-fi'l al-lazim. Muta'addi is something which can have maf'ulun bihi. And lazim is something which we can't have maf'ulun bihi. That's it, very simply. Very simply put it. Now, I am rubbing this sentence. Now this is fi'l and this is fa'il and this is maf'ulun bihi. So you have to say maf'ulun bihi. You can't stop by saying maf'ulun, because we have 5 varieties of maf'ul. Maf'ul bihi, maf'ul lahu, maf'ul ma'ah, maf'ul fi, maf'ul mutlaq. So maf'ul is something which is been done. Maf'ul is something which is been done. And bihi meaning this action done because of this. So this ba is ba sababiyya. This action is being done because of this, like that. So we have to always say bihi, maf'ulun bihi. Okay, now what happens? It's not compulsory, or it's not every time when you mention a person who has done the job. Sometimes you say the job is being done, but you don't want to say the person who has done. What you do? You hide al-fa'il. You hide al-fa'il. Why you hide? Because of lots of reasons. You don't want to mention his name, or you don't want to give importance to him, or you yourself don't know. You have seen a job is been done, a work is been done, so you are mentioning it, you are saying it. You don't know who has been done. Okay? So in some cases, or in some sentences, what happens that we are, I can't say forced, we opt to hide al-fa'il. Like this. Akal al-khubza. So when you say akal al-khubza, the meaning is he ate the bread. He ate the bread. Now you are mentioning a fa'il who is he. Even this he you don't want to tell. You want to tell the bread is been eaten. In that case, what you do? You make this fi'il majhul. You make this fi'il majhul. How to make majhul? You say ukila. Now you made fi'il into majhul, and this maf'ulun bihi, which is actually maf'ulun bihi. Now after this fi'il, that maf'ulun bihi will become na'ibul fa'il. Na'ibul fa'il. Ukila al-khubzu. Ukila al-khubzu. This was actually maf'ulun bihi. Because we made this fi'il majhul, so fi'il majhul is like fi'il lazim. It won't take maf'ulun bihi. Rather, maf'ulun bihi, you will say na'ibul fa'il. What do you say? What's the meaning of na'ibul fa'il? He is not fa'il, but he comes in the place where fa'il used to come. Na'ib meaning a deputy, your assistant. You didn't go, but you send your assistant there. So he is your na'ib. You deputized somebody to do your job. So then we call him as na'ib in Arabic language. So this is not fa'il, but it is na'ibul fa'il. This is na'ibul fa'il. Like al-fa'ilu marfu', na'ibul fa'il also marfu'. This is what rule says. This is what rules. نائب الفاعل مرفوع. So here, this is نائب الفاعل. Actually, this was مفعول به, but it came in the place of فاعل. It took the place of فاعل. But we can't say فاعل. We have to say نائب الفاعل. نائب الفاعل. This happens only if you make this fi'l majhool. What's the meaning of majhool? Unknown. Who is unknown? Al-fa'il is unknown. If fa'il is known, then you say al-fi'l al-ma'loom. In a sentence, you know fa'il, who is fa'il. Then you say al-fi'l al-ma'loom. If you don't know fa'il, you say al-fi'l al-majhool. Now here, this fi'l is what? Al-ma'loom. And this is to identify majhool is very simple. You see always, you will have in majhool, in madi, fa kalima dhamma, ayn kalima kasra. This is standard for all 6 babs. You learn 6 babs, isn't it? Fa'ala yaf'alu, fa'ala yaf'ilu, fa'ala yaf'ulu, fa'ila yaf'alu. You learn the 6 babs. But all these 6 babs, when it comes majhool, they will have only one face. Only one bab for majhool. What is that? Fu'ila. You will see fa will have dhamma, ayn will have kasra. And if you make mudari, that is also only one face. What is that face? Yu'kalu, yuf'alu. المجهول الماضي فعل فعل فعلوا. Likewise, فعل. Is that correct? فعل فعل فعلوا فعلت فعلتا فعلنا فعلت فعلتما فعلتم فعلت فعلتما فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. Now what's the meaning will come? What's the meaning of فعل? It was done. فعل, they too were done. فعلوا, they all have been done. The meaning will go like this. Al-mudari', only one bab. Majhool is having always only bab. In madi, fa kalima will be dhamma, ayn kalima will take kasra. In mudari', alamatul mudari'ah will take dhamma. Whether it is ya, ta, alif, hamza, noon, whatever may be the case. It will take dhamma and ayn kalima will always have fatha. For all 6 babs, you have only one majhool bab. What is that? Fu'ila yuf'alu. Fu'ila yuf'alu. For example, now I am saying ukila. What's the meaning of ukila? Eaten. Ukila, they both eaten. Ukilu, they all eaten, like that. Yuf'alu, it will be eaten. They both will be eaten, like that. Yuf'alu, the same goes like that. Yuf'alu, if'alani, yuf'aluna. What will come at the end? Nuf'alu. Correct? Al-majhool has no amr. Al-majhool has no fi'l amr. Who can you target while you don't have fa'il? You can command whom? You don't have anybody to command. It is majhool, unknown. So you will have al-madi and al-mudari only. Okay? This is only one bab. No need to fear. For ma'loom, we have 6 babs. See, this is also you have to remember. In some books, they won't say al-fi'l al-ma'loom. They won't say, they will say al-fi'lu مبني للمعلوم. الفعل المبني like دروس اللغة. الفعل المبني للمعلوم. الفعل المبني للمجهول. So you can say الفعل المعلوم الفعل المجهول, or you can say الفعل المبني للمعلوم الفعل المبني للمجهول. So here مبني is not opposite of معرب. Here مبني meaning constructed. The verb which has been constructed for معلوم, the verb which has been constructed for majhul. So in some books they will mention this name, so don't get confused. So you can say الفعل المعلوم or الفعل المبني للمعلوم الفعل المبني للمجهول. Yeah, you can't, that's what I'm saying. The thing which is being maf'ulun bihi, it will become naibul fa'il. When there is no maf'ulun bihi, how can you make majhul? That's quite clear. If you have a fi'il which has no maf'ulun bihi, then you can't make majhul of that. Only al-fi'l al-muta'addi can be converted into al-fi'l al-majhul. Okay? So this pattern you have to remember. This pattern you have to remember. This is it's part of language. As you use al-ma'loom, you use majhul. So both is being used in this language. Okay, you have to keep this in your mind. Write it down. Even if you want to be more peculiar, what you can say? الفعل المبني للفاعل المعلوم. الفعل المبني للفاعل المجهول. So when you say معلوم, known, who is معلوم? فاعل. When you say majhul, who is unknown? الفاعل. So, but it will be very lengthy. To cut short, they say this. Even you can cut short this and say al-fi'l al-ma'lum, al-fi'l al-majhul. That's it. So, what will be the meaning of this sentence? Ukil al-khubzu. Ukil al-khubzu. What's the meaning? The bird has been eaten. You don't want to say who has taken it, who has ate it. It's been eaten, that's it. Like you see in Qur'an. In too many cases in Qur'an. قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. What's the meaning of قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ? People of Ukhdud have been killed. Or people of Ukhdud had been killed. In Tamil we say, Kola saya pattargal. Qatal kiya gaya. In Urdu we say. So it is there in language. It's very important aspect of the language. You have to know this. Finished? Can we move on? So, fi'l can be classified into muta'addi and lazim, and something which is being related to this is al-fi'l al-ma'lum, al-fi'l al-majhul. So we learned what is al-fi'l muta'addi and fi'l al-lazim, and what is fi'l al-ma'lum and what is fi'l al-majhul. Now you can make sentence. When you go back to home, try to make sentences both from ma'lum and majhul. Now, when you are aware of this, now I am going to give you a touchstone, or you can say I am going to give to you a key, very important key. You have to memorize that. That is called as الصرف الصرف الصغير. الصرف الصغير. So what is the الصرف الصغير? It's kind of formula. It's kind of theorem. Or it's kind of string. If you have ever learned computer science, الصرف الصغير, a kind of formula, where you can put any fi'l and you will learn its main or important varieties of conjugation. Let me write it to you. You have to memorize this. If you don't memorize this, then no use of studying sarf. فعل يفعل فعلا فهو فاعل. Write it down. Okay guys, فعل يفعل فعلا فهو فاعل، فعل يفعل فعلا فهو مفعول، الأمر منه افعل والنهي عنه لا تفعل. جلس، قتل، قتل يقتل قتلا فهو قاتل، قتل يقتل قتلا فهو مقتول، الأمر منه اقتل والنهي عنه لا تقتل. Here, what are things we have learned? We have learned this part. These four are new for us, or these three are new for us. Huh? This is called masdar. What's that? Masdar. And this is called ismul fa'il. Ismul, don't say fa'il. Ismul fa'il. Ismul fa'il. And this is called as ismul maf'ul. So, masdar, al-masdar, ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul. So, what is al-masdar? Masdar meaning source. The basic meaning of masdar is source, from where you get water, from where you get whatever you want. That is called source, that is called masdar. The grammarians say that this fi'l al-ma'loom, fi'l al-majhool, madi, mudari', amr, nahi, all these conjugations come from masdar. And this masdar is what? You see tanween, then what? Ism. This masdar is what? Ism. So fi'l comes from ism. So ism is what? That's base. You have ism, harf, ism, fi'l, harf. So which is the base? Ism is base. For that reason, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam and introduced two malaika and asked them to do sajda. Asked them to do sajda to Adam. They got surprised. They said, what special this guy has? What did Allah say? وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ asma'a kullaha. He had knowledge of, Allah didn't say af'al. Why? When you say ism, fi'l is already there. So Allah taught him knowledge of everything. Knowledge of everything. So something which angels didn't have. So they surrendered to Allah's creation. So they علم آدم الأسماء كلها الأسماء. So this masdar is ism. From here you conjugate all these verbs. Okay, got it? Now, question number 2 comes. So how can I identify masdar, sir? Here, what is the weight of this? Fi'lun. Masdar has varieties of weights. It's not always fi'l. Now we conjugated qatala. What did we say? We say fa'al. Qatala yaqtulu qatlan. Was the words of weights of qatlan. Fa'alan. But here we wrote fi'lan. Now you conjugate kataba. Kataba. Kataba yaktubu kitabatan wa katban. Yajuz katban. Fahuwa katib. So masdar is not something which runs behind any proper formula. For this you have to memorize. For every fi'l you have to know the masdar. You keep this as you are a student of Arabic. You have to always keep this in your mind. 2 things. First one, whenever you learn any ism, you learn plural form of it. Because not every noun has same plural. Plurals will be kept on changing. And whenever you learn verb, fi'l, learn masdar of it. Are you getting my point? Whenever you learn any new ism, learn its plural. What would be the plural? Especially in starting days. Once you get very acquainted, very close to this, all those plural will come to you by default. Because weights of plural, awzanul jama' is not more than 25. So when you learn all these weights, it will be in day-to-day usage. So things will come to you very easily. And same goes with masdar also. You have some 25 to 30 awzanul masdar. Awzanul jama', awzanul masdar. What is jama'? Plural. Whenever you learn any new ism, for example, you learn kursiyun. So try to learn plural of it. Karasiyu. You learn a new word, for example, darun. Darun, meaning baytun. So what's the plural form? Go check. Darun, plural form is durun. Durun. What's the weight of durun? Durun. What's the weight? Al-mizan al-sarfi. Fu'lun. So fu'lun, af'alun, fi'alun, fu'ulun, mafa'ilu, mafa'ilu, af'ila'u, fu'ala'u. All these are awzanul jama'. Not every weight can be used with any noun. No, you can't do that. For example, maktabun. You can't bring this in fu'ul weight. So you have to say mafa'il, makatib. You don't have any other go. So you have, whenever you learn any ism, learn plural form of it. And same goes with verb. Whenever you learn any verb, check for its masdar. You have, as I have told you, some 25 to 30 awzanul masdar. Awzanul masadr. So if you want to know, go and check Durusul Lugha Al-Arabiyyah, 3rd volume, the last part of the book, where the writer has mentioned the famous or very highly used plural forms and masadr. He will say abniyatul masadr, abniyatul jama'. Abniya meaning awzan. Both say. Some people say binaun, some say waznun. Same of the same meaning. Now, so this masdar, something you have to memorize always, especially in starting stage. Okay, sometimes some ism will have more than one plural. Sometimes 3, 4. Like for example, shaykhun. What's the plural of shaykhun? Shuyukhun, ashiyakhun, shikhatun, shaykhukhatun, mashikhatun, mashaikhu. All these are plurals. How many? 5 to 6 you have. Okay, this is in very rare cases. Usually you have 1 or 2. And same goes with masdar also. Some fi'l will have 2, 3 masdars at same time. Like what? Kataba yaktubu, katban wa kitabatan. Try to memorize at least 1. Try to memorize at least 1. Dhahaba yadhabu, dhahab fa'al, dhahabun, dhahaba yadhabu, dhahaban, fahuwa dhahibun. Jalasa yajlisu, julusan fu'ulan. This keeps on changing. So every verb will have its own masdar. Sometimes you have to have more than 1 masdar. Okay? Now coming to fa'il, ismul fa'il. What's fa'il? After every fi'l, you have fa'il. That is formula. Ismul fa'il is something which is in weight of fa'il. Whatever comes in this weight, in this mizan of sarfi, is called as ismul fa'il. Qatilun, ismul fa'il. Kitabun, wrong. Kitabun, what's the weight? Kitabun. It's not in fa'il weight. Katibun is fa'il. Katibun, whatever comes on this weight, that is ismul fa'il. Katibun, qatilun, zahibun, jalisun, na'imun, qa'imun. Everything which comes in this weight, that is ismul fa'il. And same goes with this. Anything which comes on maf'ul weight is ismul fa'il. Ismul maf'ul. Qatil, ismul fa'il comes from fi'l ma'lum. Kataba yaktubu kitabatan fahuwa katibun. What's the meaning of katibun? A person who is writer. Because it comes from fi'l ma'lum. And ismul maf'ul comes from fi'l majhul, where you don't know who has done. Then the meaning will be kataba kutiba yuktabu kitabatan fahuwa maktubun. Maktubun meaning something is written. Eldapattadu. Maktubun. Qatilun, a person who has killed. Maktulun, a person who has killed. Maktulun, a person who has been killed. Qatilun, kola senjavan. Maktulun, kola sayyapattavan. Qatil, जिसने कत्ल किया. मक्तूल, जिस पर कत्ल का काम हुआ, जिसे कत्ल कर दिया गया. So this is ismul fa'il and this is ismul maf'ul. Now, mashallah, you learned as-sarf as-saghir. You learned as-sarf as-saghir. What you do now, and another point. If fi'l is lazim, what's the meaning of fi'l lazim? A fi'l which has no maf'ulun bihi. It's called al-fi'lu al-lazim. Al-fi'lu muta'addi is something which has maf'ulun bihi. If the fi'l is lazim, it has no maf'ulun bihi, then this part won't come. Won't come. This part will not come. You write this and you write this. That's it. Like for example, dhahaba. Dhahaba has no maf'ulun bihi. This is fi'l lazim. Then you say, dhahaba yadhabu dhahaban fahuwa dhahibun. Al-amru minhu idhab wa nahyu anhu la tadhhab. This part won't come because this is al-fi'l al-lazim. Both will come only if fi'l is muta'addi. To know al-lazim and muta'addi, what you have to know? You have to know the meaning. You have to know the meaning. Now I will write some list of fi'l muta'addi and fi'lul lazim. You write it down. That will be very useful for you. Like, for example, jalasa. This is lazim. جلس ذهب نظر نظر ينظر. What else you have? فرح. See, another interesting thing. You have 6 babs, no? فعل يفعل 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 فعل يفعل يفعل, and then you have فعل يفعل. This فعل يفعل, this bab is completely fi'lul lazim. You can't see any fi'l of this bab having maf'ulun bihi. The whole bab is al-babul lazim. Al-babu al-lazim, like karuma. Jalasa dhahaba nadhara fariha karuma. And then you write some fi'ls of muta'addi. Can I rub this? كتب يكتب نصر ينصر قتل يقتل ضرب سمع. What else? نصر. What's the meaning of nasara? See, you know down. Assalamu alaikum. शुक्रिया, शुक्रों का जज़ील. जज़ाकल्लाह. See, you note on this. Nasara meaning to help in a big cause. To help somebody in big cause. In tansurullah yansurkum. If you help Allah, Allah will help you. Nasarahumullahu fil ma'rakah. Allah helped them in a war. So nasara meaning help, not exactly. To support, to give you strength. But in day-to-day life, where we help. Like for example, Sheikh Muhyiddin helped Ashraf. I can't say Nasara Muhyiddin Ashrafa won't come. It should be very big cause. You can say Nasara Muhyiddin Ashrafa fi bina'i al-masjid fi fath al-balad, in occupy a country, in doing something big. For day-to-day usage, the helping is sa'ada. You write down this beautiful word, sa'ada. We will learn how it gets conjugated later. Sa'ada yusa'idu. Now I can say sa'ada Muhyiddin Ashrafa fi baytihi. For cooperation, small helps, helps which been done between friends, between families. Then you say sa'ada. Usually people, they do mistake here. Okay? You have to keep this in mind. So this is a small list of al-fi'l al-muta'addi.